was speaking with some brethren over the weekend. The Hebrew Roots people had a conference in Dallas over the weekend, and well, you know, of course, I didn't go. Having small children, that really is not the environment for small kids. It's not any fun for them. That's for sure. And what ends up happening when when I take the family to one of these conferences of that sort, then what happens is the wife spends the whole time running after the kids, and I spend my whole time chasing after the so-called teachers, and being stopped by everybody on my left and my right, and it really causes a lot of frustration. I'm busy. Excuse me. I'm busy, gathering in all the information and basically going into overload mode while my wife is busy pulling her hair out, and I just don't like doing that to her. It makes her a lot of stress. But I bring it up because our friends who did go over the weekend, really the only thing they really had to say about it. I'm hoping that later in the conference it got better, but the only thing they really had to say about it was that it was there's this rift going on within the movement. It's like the messies are over here and the antics are over there, and it's a shame, because a house divided, right? A house divided cannot stand. And they're just we're still playing games. And there is not going to be any unity by the fleshly acts of ecumenism. I think that's the way it's pronounced. So any ecumenical movements, you can guarantee Satan is behind that. Unity does not come by human strength, but by the active involvement of the Ruach HaKodesh, the set-apart spirit. And it ain't moving right now, in that way. We're independently getting the sprigs of the waters pouring out, and I do know and believe that dam's about to break. And I was foolish enough to think that it was going to happen sooner. I was expecting it to happen sooner than it has, but just know that when it does come out, going to happen with a violent shaking of the earth, you know, and that's what I was expecting to happen a few weeks ago during Shavuot. But maybe that's just my you know, my prophetic tendency, and you know, I'm by no means calling myself a prophet. By no means am I saying that. But what I am saying is that the testimony of Messiah Yahushua is the spirit of prophecy. So. I have had other people use my name in context with the prophets, and I always stop them and go, "Don't say that." You know, I don't want to be considered a prophet because, hey, history shows the true prophets of the living God. It doesn't end well for those guys. You know, those people end up being offered up and killed by their own people. But at the same time, you know, I have heard from my own mouth, you know, hey, I'm willing to die for what I believe. Because there are definitely certain people in this country who are more than willing to kill me for it. Man, my nose is itching off my face right now. My allergies are killing me. But anyway, I was up late last night and up early this morning, so you have to bear with me. But yeah, the house is divided and getting more so all the time. And it's just like I said, you know, it's going to take real persecution for the people of God to finally start uniting. It's going to take some really violent times in order for the people of God to start putting their differences aside, stop getting caught up in these petty issues of doctrine and dogma. Satan is definitely doing his level best to keep this house divided, because he knows as long as we're divided, we can't stand, and he wants us decimated. And so it's divide and conquer, right? Divide and conquer. The ultimate Hegelian dialectic. So, you know, I mean, you got what? 4,000 different Christian denominations, all of them thinking that they have the true inspired Word of God. All of them kicking each other in the balls. Now we've got the same thing going on within the Messianic movement. It's a real shame. You know, you think we have gotten over that kind of stuff, but no. We brought all this, you know, all the nonsense that we were dealing with in the church, and brought it into the Messianic movement. That's why it's so messy, because we haven't learned anything. We come into a little bit of the truth, and we turn it into church on the right day. Oh, yay, we got into Sabbath. Yay. Oh, you got into being obedient to the Torah. How about loving your neighbor as yourself? Did you forget that one? How about, you know, here we go with the spirit of the law thing. You know, if you were truly following in the spirit of the law, you would be keeping the letter of the law perfectly. Because, to be honest, the spirit of the law is much more strict than the letter. I mean, think about it. There's perfect examples. I mean, if you listen to what Yeshua is actually saying, he's actually making the law harder to keep than it already was according to our flesh. You're never going to get there by works of the law. I'm not talking about winning salvation through merits of law. That's not what I'm talking about. Don't mistake that you can't win unmerited favor. You cannot merit the unmeritable. It is a free gift. But that free gift should lead you into works of obedience. Why do you think the Messiah quoted Deuteronomy all the time? Deuteronomy is the book of obedience. What did he say? If you love me, you will keep my commandments. Which commandments are those? Oh, I don't know. Maybe those ones at the beginning of the book. And we just keep getting back into this same thing. Here, try this on for size. Okay, you have heard it said that it's, not to murder. Well, I say that if a man hates his neighbor in his heart, he has already killed him. How's that? Oh, we'll leave you to figure that one out. How about, you have heard it said not to commit adultery. But I say to you, any man who so looks at a woman with lust in his heart has already committed adultery with her. Yeah, that's the spirit of the law. Figure that one out. How about this? You know, if Yeshua, King Messiah, was such a Beatitudes peacenik, turn the other cheek and all that, then why did he tell Peter and another disciple to buy swords before he was offered up? Huh? Riddle me that. Why did he tell them to buy swords? Which, by the way, in occupied Judea, under Roman occupation, for a Jew to own a sword was a capital offense, punishable by death. Why did he tell them to sell their garments to procure swords? Figured that one out. Maybe what you've been taught in Sunday school isn't exactly what it lines out to be. If we're supposed to be happy, peacey, peace-y, turn the other cheek beatniks, then why is it that Paul says any man who doesn't provide for his family is worse than an infidel? Figure that one out. Are we supposed to turn the other cheek to a fellow brethren, to our believing body? Or are we turning our cheek to everybody, including every godless communist out there who wants nothing more than to see our death at great pain? Ordering your disciples to go out and get a sword is a bit more than just passive resistance or civil disobedience. That's outright revolt in the eyes of the state. Why else do you think this regime wants nothing more than to see Christians persecuted as the #1 terror threat, according to the Department of Homeland Security, the Department of Defense? I think it's time for people to really start understanding what the Bible is really talking about, and start to understand exactly what our King is trying to get us to see. Because I can tell you right now, this hippy-dippy health, wealth, and prosperity Jesus that you've been shown, it ain't going to get you anywhere. It's going to get you dead. The Peacenik Jesus. Yeah. Move on.